With me now is charity founder and author. It's Nick Buckley, MBE. Nick, thank you very much. Great to have you on the show. What do you make as a charity founder and, of course, author of note about Labour's welfare plan?
It has one or two good points in it. Not fantastic points, not changing the whole system points, but all these policies have some good points. So they're right in one way, as in, if what's stopping you getting off your backside and getting a job is the fear that you'll lose all your benefits if it doesn't work out, and if that's stopping you, and the government doesn't have the backbone to force you to get a job, well, let's remove that barrier. And then you may take a chance and you may get a job, which then improves your life. So I'm happy for removing barriers. But what we never address is the root cause of all this. And the root cause is our welfare system, instead of being a safety net, has become a hammock. And it's become a destination of choice. It was always meant to be a safety net.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a problem. And that is something that Labour were criticised for under the last Labour government. I do find it interesting that Labour keep harking back now. Whenever you ask them about the strikes, they go, well, we never really had any strikes. We never had any strikes. And so that was absolutely ages ago. It was ages ago. The world has moved on. The world has changed. It is not the same place now. And so I don't think they can keep using that as an example. But when it comes to this, the last time that Labour were in government, they were saying, well, maybe the benefit system, it lent itself to people scrounging, OK, or on the take, or that old idea of someone there with, 3 kids in a council flat, chain smoking and drinking special brie the whole time. It was probably a bit unfair, but that was one of the tropes that came out of it. Labour looking to move away from that this time, but in your views, they might still be looking to make the benefit system too generous. What do you think?
I think every government since the Second World War has made the benefit system too beneficial. Absolutely every one of them. As a society, if we keep rewarding poor choices and poor behaviour, then we shouldn't be surprised when people conduct poor behaviour and make poor choices. And that's what we keep doing. The state seems to want to be our parents. They seem to want to step in and say, oh, we don't like you doing that. You're making bad decisions. So therefore, we're going to wrap our arms around you and make it as comfortable as possible. As humans, sometimes we need to fail and we need to feel the pain of failure so we can get back on our feet and we can make a better situation of it. Let me give you a personal example. So I grew up on benefits. I remember every Monday morning queuing up in school at the admin office waiting to be given my 5 free dinner tickets for the week. And there'd be 50 of us queuing up in a line every break on a Monday morning. People would say that was humiliating because everybody knew who the poor kids was in my school. But while I was studying that line, I didn't feel embarrassed because I knew my family had no money and we were grateful for the help we got. But while I was studying that line, I was saying to myself, my child ain't going to be studying this line. I'll tell you that for nothing. But then what we did so many years later is we created a new system to give kids free meals at school without anybody knowing. So a kid like me today isn't studying that line going, my child won't be stood here.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic example because you're absolutely right. It could go one of two ways, couldn't it? It could become very self-pitying and it could become, oh, it was humiliating and I always used to hate standing in that line. Or it could go exactly the way that it's gone with you, which is I'm going to do my damn best to make sure that my kid is never in this particular line. I'm going to put my shoulders still. And I would hope that the vast majority of people are like you, really. But, Nick, thank you very much. Nick Buckley there, charity founder and author, reacting to Labour's welfare plan.